When I discovered my husband Theo had been texting 47 different women behind my back, I could have screamed, cried, or filed for divorce. Instead, I did something that would destroy his reputation forever. I added all 47 of them to one group chat and watched his world burn. You know that moment when your entire world collapses in the span of 30 seconds, when everything you thought you knew about your life turns out to be a beautifully crafted lie. I'm Bianca, and I discovered my husband had been messaging 47 different women behind my back. But instead of falling apart, I did something that would destroy his life forever. I added all 47 of them to one group chat and watched karma work its magic. If you've ever suspected your partner was cheating, hit that like button because this story will blow your mind. My life looked perfect from the outside. 8 years married to Theo Richmond, this charming real estate developer who could sell ice to penguins. We had the dream house in Willow Creek, the kind with a white picket fence and manicured lawn. That screams successful couple. Our Instagram was full of date nights, vacation photos, and anniversary celebrations. That made other couples jealous. I was climbing the ladder at my marketing firm. He was closing million-dollar deals. And we were planning this massive 10th anniversary party. That would be the talk of the town. But perfect facades have a way of cracking when you least expect them to. It started with little things that made my stomach twist in ways I couldn't explain. Theo began guarding his phone like it contained state secrets. He'd flip it face down during dinner, take it to the bathroom, even sleep with it under his pillow. When I asked about it, he'd laugh and say I was being paranoid. That work was just getting intense. Then came the late nights at the office, the sudden gym membership, and this new cologne that definitely wasn't the one I bought him for Christmas. My friends kept telling me I was overthinking things. Theo adores you, they'd say. You're just being insecure. But something deep in my gut kept screaming that something was wrong, you know. That feeling when you walk into a room and sense someone was just talking about you. That's how I felt about my own marriage. The night everything changed was supposed to be special. We'd gone out for an early anniversary dinner at Chateau Laurent, this fancy French place where we had our first date. Theo ordered champagne, told me I looked beautiful. Played the perfect husband role, but his phone kept buzzing throughout dinner. Buzz after buzz after buzz. Every time it lit up, his eyes would dart to it like a moth to flame. And he'd get this guilty expression before forcing his attention back to me. Work emergency, he kept saying. But who has work emergencies at 9 p.m. on a Friday? We came home and Theo poured himself 3 fingers of whiskey, then another, then another. By 10:30, he was passed out cold on our living room couch, snoring like a freight train. His phone was right there on the coffee table, still lighting up with notifications. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Every rational part of my brain was screaming not to. Look, that good wives trust their husbands. That snooping would make me the villain. But that gut feeling wouldn't let me walk away. I picked up his phone with trembling hands, staring at the lock screen. Notification after notification, from names I didn't recognize. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Last night was incredible. When can we do that again? My hands were actually shaking as I tried to figure out his passcode. Then it hit me like a slap in the face. Our old anniversary date. The one from before we got married. The date he said he'd never forget. The phone unlocked and my world exploded. Message thread after message thread with different women, not just one affair. Not just 2 or 3, but dozens of conversations. With dozens of different faces. There was Rebecca from his office talking about their lunch dates. There was Carmen from the gym, sending photos I definitely shouldn't have seen. There was even Natasha from down the street, our neighbor who brings us cookies at Christmas. I sat there on our perfect hardwood floors, scrolling through years of betrayal, feeling like someone had reached into my chest and ripped my heart out with their bare hands. The man I'd trusted with my entire life, the man I'd planned to grow old with, had been living a double life. So elaborate it would make Hollywood directors jealous. That's when I realized crying wasn't going to fix this. Getting angry wasn't enough. I needed something bigger, something that would make him feel exactly as destroyed as I felt in that moment. I didn't sleep that night. How could I? while Theo was upstairs snoring peacefully in our bed, completely oblivious to the fact that his world was about to implode. I was downstairs having a complete mental breakdown. I went through every stage of grief in fast forward. Denial lasted about 5 minutes. Anger took up the next 3 hours, and by sunrise, I'd landed on something that felt like acceptance, but tasted like pure calculated revenge. Here's what I could have done: confronted him directly, thrown his clothes on the lawn, called a divorce lawyer, or posted a dramatic Facebook status about cheating husband's basic stuff that every scorned wife in history has already tried. But as I sat there scrolling through message after message with women who had no idea about each other, a thought struck me that made my blood sing with possibility. What if they all knew? What if every single one of these women discovered they weren't special, they weren't the only one? They weren't even close to being the only one. That's when I started counting.